Mingalama, Kabao Channel Ma. Welcome. Today we're exploring how these structures in Yangon have stood through decades of change, serving as the physical memory of Myanmar's history. Walking through the downtown grid, you are surrounded by a density of Victorian, Queen Anne, and neoclassical facades that rivals former imperial capitals like Calcutta and Singapore. These massive brick and timber complexes were engineered to project the permanent, unshakable invincibility of the British Empire. Yet today, they stand as complex monuments to the local people who outlasted that empire. To understand how this happened, we need to take a walk through the streets of Old Rangoon, peeling back the layers of these facades to uncover the histories of oppression and revolution etched into their stones. Reading these streets provides a physical timeline of a nation's survival, where the stones themselves reveal the path toward independence. Our journey begins at the riverfront, the commercial artery of the colony. Here sits the Custom House, an imposing red brick headquarters built to generate the revenue that sustained British rule. Looking at these massive mounds of rice waiting for export, we can see the scale of the economy it managed. Inside the Custom House, a dedicated rummaging staff maintained a 24-hour readiness, searching cargo holes and drainage systems on commercial ships to extract every ounce of tariff and confiscate contraband. Moving slightly inland to Pansoden Street, we encounter the pale burgundy brick and towering clock face of the High Court building. The placement of this courthouse was highly intentional. It was constructed directly over what was known as the Death Gate, the exact spot where executed criminals once passed when entering early Yangon. Inside its walls, centuries-old Burmese justice traditions, which relied on ceremonial palm leaf oaths and vivid curses, were systematically erased. In their place, the British installed a slow and completely foreign legal framework. These riverfront structures operated in tandem as physical machines, designed to extract the wealth of the Delta while overriding local traditions with imperial order. Continuing our walk down Strand Road, we arrive at the site of Safir's building. Completed in 1906 by a Baghdadi Jewish merchant, its yellow Italianate facade and Manchester floor tiles once housed a Viennese cafe, a German photographer, and a Filipino hairdresser. Directly contrasting this bustling public commerce is the legendary Strand Hotel, designed to evoke a sense of permanent, exclusive Victorian splendor along the Yangon River. Behind its elegant teakwood fixtures and marble floors lay a strict whites-only policy. For decades, the local Burmese population was entirely barred from crossing its threshold. This policy meant the people of Myanmar were forced to be outsiders in their own capital. They loaded the ships and built the mansions, but they were kept strictly as spectators to the wealth their land generated. This pervasive exclusion created a local environment where every grand architectural statement became a point of contention, feeding the grievances of the young nationalists who would soon seek to reclaim the city. As we turn away from the riverfront and walk deeper into the city center, the strict neoclassical and Victorian aesthetics suddenly break. When construction of Yangon City Hall was delayed from 1913 into the mid-1920s, the political climate had shifted. The Burmese architect Sithu U Tin was commissioned to finalize the project amid rising local nationalism. Instead of delivering another rigid colonial copy, U Tin infused the white facade with traditional Burmese elements. He crowned the structure with multi-tiered pyathat roofs, echoing the ancient temples of Bagan, and adorned the masonry with protective Naga serpents. This architectural fusion was a deliberate reclamation. It was a highly visible way to assert local pride and identity in stone, right in the administrative center of a British-ruled city. By the 1930s, the city's inhabitants were actively rewriting its physical and cultural DNA, ensuring that the seat of municipal power reflected their own traditions. Our walk ends at the most physically imposing monument to colonial rule in Myanmar, the Secretariat. Occupying an entire 16-acre city block, this sprawling red brick Victorian complex served as the absolute center of British administration. It also holds the city's heaviest historical secret. On July 19, 1947, these exact walls witnessed the assassination of General Aung San and 6 of his cabinet ministers, striking down the leaders of Myanmar's independence struggle. In a powerful twist of fate, this symbol of subjugation is the exact location where the British flag was finally lowered, and Myanmar's independence was declared in 1948. The blood spilled within these specific walls redefined the site, turning a center of foreign administration into a cornerstone of the independence movement. Today, decades after the government relocated to the new capital of Naypyidaw in 2005, downtown Yangon has settled into a different rhythm, and its historic buildings have aged in uniquely diverging ways. Some clock towers are quietly encroached upon by weeds, while other complexes are undergoing careful restoration, efforts that painstakingly preserve physical scars, like the bullet holes left from the 1947 assassinations. These structures have absorbed the labor and the triumphs of the people, evolving into the living memory of the nation. Are these colonial structures merely decaying remnants of a bygone era, or are they silent witnesses that still hold vital stories, waiting to guide the future generations of Myanmar?